be unresponsive, like it'll be unresponsive for like a couple seconds and then it's going, or like the keyboard is unresponsive. It's like it's not a huge error. It's
Oh,
just in I guess in those situations sometimes, and it happened to come up. But this, I think this uploads as we record too, so you can kind of see on the right side.
oh,
I
that
don't know how
makes
you get it
sense.
set up. That it is a
But yeah,
dynamic upload.
interesting. But yeah, you're talking about you know, having an unresponsive computer. Fortunately, you've got a physical computer that's like the OS on your thing. If you ever like use a like a thin client where you're trying to like basically like network boot into another system and then you lose the connection and it'll just hang and it is annoying as hell.
Okay, admittedly that doesn't happen to me, so
Okay.
I don't know
Worst
what you're
is when
doing.
your computer is also connected to your phone, like your landline. So I've had this happen to me where I will like call somebody, then I'll try to create a conference call, and then the phone will crash. I'll still have audio, but then it'll like lose connection for like a little bit, and then my computer will be stupid.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
This episode is brought to you by IT issues.
It's it's not that. I mean, yeah, it's a little weird. Where I work, this was this is the first week in our return to office mandate.
Hmm.
Um, and so there also happens to be like new conference rooms on there. So they're kind of I don't know if they're still going to do this now. I think it's on pause, but they were kind of renovating each floor sequentially, and they've been doing this over the last several years. So this isn't new. Um, and so
Uh-huh.
there's new like meeting rooms on one of the floors. And what's weird about it is like to people are still trying to figure out the technical aspects of like the meeting room, right? It's like you got to join the Teams meeting on the tablet that is in the room already,
Hmm.
but you have to join it like through the but like you're joining as the room, you're not joining in your personal account. It's very confusing because there's a lot of old people that work where I work, so if you can imagine,
Hmm.
they're not as savvy with that. I mean, I don't even understand it, so it's kind of complicated.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Cisco does this shit too. Where you can like telepresent, like you can do the teleconference with the video and all that crap, and it's interesting, I guess. It's a bit of a bitch to work with, but meh, I guess.
um, yeah, okay. So, um, any other tech issues you wanna you wanna bring up?
So I've been writing. I was writing music again, as you can tell. I sent you some stuff in GroupMe. Um, so the computer sometimes will like auto like set that it wants to use its microphone enhancement settings, and if you let it do that, it will completely mess up all the recordings. It'll like mess up your audio quality. It'll mess up your leveling. It will mess up your waveforms. Like I recorded songs on this particular mic, and I know what a good waveform looks like, and it looks. And whenever I record with the computer's audio settings, it looks nothing like that.
What are you recording using? What software?
It's like a CM Tech. It's like CX550 mic. I guess like you can call it a podcasting mic, but it's also like a pretty good recording like for song mic. I just it took me a while to really like master figure out like what sounds good in terms of like bass treble balance. But it's a good mic.
Um, I meant the software. Sorry.
Oh, Audacity. Always Audacity.
Okay, yeah, you still use Audacity. Okay, Audacity. So there's some settings that could help
Yeah.
you on Audacity. Maybe.
Oh, I started using
Maybe.
a compressor too. That really helps.
Okay. Hmm. Well, I don't know how to help you out. I'm not that good of a,
An audio engineer.
yeah.
You know any of your podcast guests who are?
Um, who's the best at it? I don't know that anyone is. I mean, you might be the best.
Hmm.
It might be you.
Yeah, but I'm not an audio engineer, and I'm also not a
Yeah,
rapper.
but you have more experience is I guess what I'm saying. Well, you know what?
I mean, I
Did you listen?
guess.
Did you listen to this past week's episode?
No, I might have missed it. What's up?
It's okay, you didn't have to. I'm just wondering if the audio plays through when I share my screen, because if so, we can maybe we can listen to your recordings live on air.
Never tried it.
Let me just scrub through um hmm, last week's episode. I'm telling myself that I don't listen to every part of the episodes.
LMAO.
'Cause- Um, hmm. I'm trying to listen to. Okay, it does go through. So, if you want to share,
I don't hear anything.
if you're interested, if you want to. No, I was okay. What I was doing, the reason I wasn't speaking, I was listening to my, the downloaded file from this past week's episode. Yeah, like that's saved on my computer to see if it was.
Hmm.
So if you want, if you're interested, you can debut. I mean, at least the week one. Why don't you give us some background on this? So, okay, for listeners who have no idea what we're talking about, if you're a
Oh,
first time
I'm
listener,
back to writing hype tracks for this year. It's just hard because like um having the it is like coming up with material and of course the research and actually also like sometimes I've started to notice though um the for some reason I write better when I'm traveling. It's weird, but I do.
do you think it's just like you're out of your normal rhythm? You know, you're in a different environment, you get more inspiration, like other around the world, the physical world.
Maybe because like the so the week one Colorado track, I'd like kind of started writing it. Like I'd like written like four lines, and then I went and then I just sat on it, and then I went to Denver for work at the end of April. And I was just chilling in the lounge, and I was um just like figuring out what could I write, and then I wrote a rhyme. It was like I was talking about how Travis Hunter um had been drafted by the Jaguars. So it was like, oh, he's been drafted by Jacksonville, and I'll be looking to bring back some thrill. And after I wrote that, I was like, what would be kind of interesting is if I used it like like internally, and like basically the whole like looking to bring back some thrill in Jacksonville. It just kept living rent free in my head. Um, so I basically ended up writing the rest of it. Like I basically like it lived rent free all the way to from when I returned the car when I got through security. So I ended up writing the rest of that in the terminal at the gate, and also kind of on the plane, and then recording it when I got home.
Okay. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily the trip itself. It was more that. So the way you described
But
it
the
seems more
weird thing is,
coincidental.
like, the thing, like, it just like lived rent free in my head, like while I was on the trip. It was like, what the
Yeah, I guess it's just because you have different responsibilities while you're on your trip, so you're not thinking about the normal things you think about. So things
maybe,
like that, something like that can occupy more of your mind, I suppose. Is that maybe fair to
maybe, I
say? I don't know.
guess, I don't know. It's an interesting psychological thing.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I'm kind of
that it would be
getting at.
interesting to it would be interesting to study. It's like, why the hell does, like, are you more productive when it comes to like creative stuff when you're not at home?
Hmm. So you took a year off, I think, of doing these, right? Is that right?
What do you
You
mean?
didn't do any last year? Did you do them last? Did you not take a year off? I thought you didn't do them one year.
No, I did them last year. I had a whole album.
Oh my God, what am I thinking
I
of?
even put it on r slash got tech.
Maybe because it's
And then
been
I was
so, it
like,
feels
hey,
like it's
should
been
I
so
like do
long.
this for the like should I do this for the I was like, should I do this for the bowl game? And then, oh yeah,
Yes.
I did the bowl game trip also while I was in Denver. Of course, like I had
No, yeah, I
just
remember. I
gotten
remember. Yeah. It feels
yeah.
like it's been forever, to be
That
honest, since then.
yeah. Actually, a funny story. When I wrote the bowl game trip, the day before, I'd had an allergic reaction to some food, and it's food like it's like I'm allergic to peanuts, and I've had an anaphylactic reaction to peanuts. So naturally, I had to rhyme anaphylaxis with something.
I mean, you didn't have to.
Oh, but I did, and I actually figured out a rhyme. So
Okay.
basically,
Yeah.
that song ends. We won't be putting something putting the show in so bad it's a whack miss. Against his foe will show no mercy and choke him like anaphylaxis.
hmm Okay, so do you want to tease what the new ones are about? So why did you choose to do, so you did the week one game against Colorado. That makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
Do you have any reason for doing Georgia now, even though it's the last game of the season?
Um, because I have written songs to every single Hybrid Theory instrumental except for one, and this particular instrumental was perfect for that game, and I wanted to get it done so I could say I've officially written songs against every single Hybrid Theory instrumental across both
Okay.
these projects, but also and like stuff I've done at school.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so
but what is, and so you decided to do it now because again you got inspiration. Because it is kind of early. You
yeah.
usually don't start now in June. I mean, I I'm a
Well,
little surprised,
I don't know
to be
about
honest.
that. Like one summer, I tried to write the entire album over the summer. That was in 2022.
Yeah, that was years ago now at this point.
Yeah, I tried to write that entire thing over the summer. Last year, I forget when I wrote my first track. Um, oh, actually, no, I do remember. I wrote like four tracks while I was out of my apartment, and I was because they were doing clock work, so I had to stay at a hotel nearby. Um, and then last year, I did the first track in July while I was in Seattle.
Okay, so I mean that's later. June is a long time from I don't know, when's the first game? End of is it
Okay,
September or
so
something?
technically, I wrote the first track in May or in April, and I recorded it in May this year.
So you've been sitting on it.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. what is it? No leaks, let the album trickle or something like that. Somebody said that.
So are you gonna post this publicly then, or um,
Not yet. I'm gonna do it a track at a time, but you're free to play stuff over the air if you want.
no, no, that's all you. I'm not gonna, this is
It's your
your.
podcast.
It's barely my podcast. It's the people's podcast,
Oh, all right.
Um,
Well,
maybe we'll
I'm
this is
trying to.
just the tease, and they'll have to go. Where can they find it on Reddit or where do they usually get posted? Because I get so I'm of the
R slash
privileged
got tech.
class. I get them sent to me personally by message. So
R slash got tech.
okay, so they
Um,
can.
but the links are all to my Google Drive.
hmm hmm You don't want to put them on SoundCloud or anything yet. I mean, we've been talking about this for years.
Aren't there copyright rules on SoundCloud? But
Yes, you'd
like,
have to
also,
figure
this is
out.
not my day job. I'm not a rapper. I'm a software
This
engineer.
this isn't. It's not your day job.
Or,
Crazy.
no,
Obviously,
but I'm not a rapper.
for now. Maybe it'll. You never know what's gonna happen in the future.
I don't know. You know what will be funny is if no, I doubt it would happen unless we have a talent show at work.
Oh,
If that
that's
happens,
yeah. Well, what would you do? So if they announced next week, next Friday or whatever, Thursday, they're doing a talent show. Everyone can sign up. You can do one thing. What are you gonna
oh,
do?
I'm gonna rap to I got the keys. I'm gonna pull that one out, but I'm not gonna actually rap the original song. I'm gonna rap the song I wrote.
Okay, okay. Well, I was gonna say because you've made obviously.
I'm also really proud of that track.
I was gonna say you've made dozens of these over the last several years. So um,
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of like
guess that's like I was about to say dozens is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I mean, I guess you're right.
is it?
I
Have you
mean,
done this for four
it's
years?
every year is 13 tracks, so
Yeah, it's literally
every year is like
dozens.
12 or
That's
13
what.
tracks.
That's why that was my
So I was
math. I
like,
was like, well, you've done it every year, and it's
you're
been,
right. I mean,
dozen,
you're right.
literally a dozen a year. I mean, depending on bowl games or whatever.
And some other stuff from like, school projects and stuff. In fact, I'll drop that in the
Yeah,
chat or in the group me anyway. Yeah, like
okay.
that is
Getting,
everything I've ever written that
getting,
I'm proud of.
getting, getting bombarded here for our listeners. I'm getting bombarded by Google Drive links.
Yeah, that's the best way to share stuff, especially if you don't care about monetizing it. Of course, if you do care about monetizing it, although, what would be interesting is if I took one of those and like made a video for like a Georgia Tech hype video. Oh, that would be interesting.
Okay, like what are you doing for the visuals exactly?
I don't know, probably
Like,
just like, Georgia Tech football slash Georgia Tech band clips.
okay, so you're using pre-made clips. You're not going to make anything original.
I don't do that. My lyrics are original, but that's about it.
Well, if this is going to be your full-time job,
Dude, I got a practicum to deal with, and I got a full time job already. It's a hobby, all right? This is a hobby.
Hey, everyone's allowed to have hobbies.
Yeah, this is a
Um,
hobby.
okay. Anything else you wanted to talk about today? Anything else you had going
Well,
on?
Aaron Rodgers got signed. He finally got signed. He's going to the Steelers. The saga is finally over.
Does anyone, am I supposed to care?
Well, most football fans do. Although I
I
guess it's
mean,
more funny that like he's stayed like unsigned for so long, and also like um you had the whole Shadur Sanders thing where he fell to the fifth round where he was supposed to be a first round quarterback. And it's kind of interesting like why people are postulating like why people didn't draft him. Um Honestly, like I could probably see it where where the teams that didn't draft a quarterback like wanted to address their other needs first, and then draft a quarterback so they could actually give him a proper support system, or they were just
yeah,
punting to next year.
it's possible they just don't think he's going to be that good. I think that's just
Yeah,
your
I
Occam's
mean it
razor.
makes sense though, because like these days, like teams draft a quarterback and like bad teams draft quarterbacks in the first round and then immediately throw them to the wolves.
Um, well, they don't know that they're bad quarterbacks when they draft them. They think they're great quarterbacks. Every team thinks they have the best players when they draft them.
Sure. But even if the guy is a good even if the guy is a good quarterback, is there something to be said about actually building a team around the quarterback and actually setting that quarterback up to succeed instead of throwing him to the wolves and letting him burn?
Sure, situation.
Look at Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels,
Sure, but no one
for
thought that
example.
the Commanders had a great situation. I mean, there's a little bit of a chicken or egg too. I don't think anyone was saying, thank goodness Jane Daniels went to the Commanders because they just got a lot of great stuff
Well, you
around
could
them.
make an argument that like having Cliff Kingsbury there was helpful.
That was also not something
As
people were saying, thank goodness they have Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, that was like that was very widely mocked. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury got run out of Arizona. He went to college for,
Yeah, because
was it one
he's a
year?
terrible head coach.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
you
think
know,
there's a bit of a revisionist history on that you're trying to, I mean, no one was saying, oh, great, man, he's got the Commanders, great players around him and the great coaching. I mean, thank goodness Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, no one, Cliff
it's like a
Kingsbury,
good
I mean,
system, maybe.
Kingsbury, his offenses were, let's say, mixed in Arizona. And yeah, I don't know. Even the Commanders, they still don't have, I mean, well, I don't know about next year, but, they had a terrible defense last year and they have like one receiver.
Which is ironic because they have a defensive guru as a head coach.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Someone actually made a video about like how being a coordinator doesn't automatically make you a good head coach because of like the different kinds of soft skills it takes to be a coach.
Yeah,
The
well,
best
that's also true.
analogy that I think they used was like being a head coach is like being a manager.
I was gonna say it's the
Like,
same thing as management. Yeah,
yeah, it's a different skill set. It's more about like building and maintaining relationships than necessarily what technical things you know. I mean, you still have to have some technical knowledge, but that's not the end all be all.
yeah. There's a lot more of you know. Uh, there's different things that you have to do. Um. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, it
Yeah.
is what it
Anyway,
is.
yeah. Aaron Rodgers. Uh.
I mean, at least the drama's over, so it's gonna be interesting to see like what he does with that team.
I don't know that he'll be very good. I
Um,
think that's your answer.
You know that we as like, and everyone thought like, oh, it's gonna be DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Like they're gonna run the NFC North and then or the AFC North, and then George Pickens got traded.
Yep. Hold on, Anuj.
Yeah.
Computer's freezing.
Oh hell, not again.
Oh, there we go. Okay. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say they signed Robert Woods, so problem solved.
Lol.
Is he old? He's only 33. I thought he was older.
Remember he
Uh,
was on the Rams during those magical years with
yeah, but
Jared Goff.
he's been in the league for over 10 years.
Okay.
Um, oh, they have Donald Parham. I kind of like him. I mean,
Man, I
he's
thought Justin Herbert made him look pretty good.
he's I don't know if that's the wrong opinion about him. Uh, okay, well, we can wrap up here soon if you want. I mean, we started kind of. This is a late night episode, you know.
Yeah, I mean
Anush
that's fair.
has his evening activities that he does. You're running and
To
you're
be fair, I
working
went
and you're
running.
yeah. Well, we can't all be like you. Can't all be as great as you.
Very funny. I don't call it great. I'd probably just say crazy.
You think it's
But
crazy
then
that you
again, I did
run?
the shit in bed. Well, I ran and then I left. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go play frisbee. If I'm gonna try to play frisbee in the morning. Well, that's crazy.
All right, you're off tomorrow.
Well, no, I'm still gonna go into work.
Oh, you're doing the early morning frisbee.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Because I know you're off every other Friday. That's why it's tomorrow's Friday. I think right? Yes.
but I never actually take the. But I never take Fridays.
You what do you mean you never take Friday?
Yeah, I never take my Fridays off. I actually go in, just work a half day, and then I go home.
What's the point of that? Are you working extra hours?
Yeah, that way,
For
when I want to travel, I don't have to use as much vacation.
oh, okay, so you're earning the hours. You're not just working them for free.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing about our work schedules is like any extra hours you like you work, you can generally carry from week to week. So when it comes time to take time off, I can just dump those hours instead.
No, no, no. Yeah, mine's the same way. But the way that I interpreted the way how you originally described it was like you just go in for fun. You're just like, yeah, I
Nah.
could take off, but I'm just gonna go work. Yeah, no, my work's the same way. Any extra hours, but I
Hmm.
just haven't had the need to, at least yet. Okay. Well, Anush, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure, buddy. Peace out.